We're initializing. I like holding the soccer ball at the beginning. And look at that.
Do.
We are live, people.
Look at there.
All right. Look at this. The Tango soccer ball. Best.
It's white and shiny.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of ATL On Fire, the podcast where we talk all things Atlanta United Football Club and all things soccer.
Do we have to?
I don't know. Do you guys want to stick with us?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Let's see. All right.
Yes.
Well, I'm joined by Dave and Carmen. Thank you for your fortitude to stick with this team and podcast. How are you guys doing? Good?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All things told.
All things considered,
All things considered, most definitely. Yeah.
Carmen, any soccer gossip out there?
Oh, jeez. I've been so separate from soccer, I feel like, for the last month or so. Let's see. Can we think of any gossip?
Ugarte.
Well, there's soccer in the streets stuff happening, right?
Oh, yeah. We have our footy ball November 9th. So if you want tickets to that, to raise money, our little actual gala. And yeah, I can't.
I'm in. Now
You're
that,
in.
Now that Simon is an intern.
I'm telling you, Simon's the man.
He's
And
an intern in Soccer at the Streets. Our social media coordinator, Simon.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. And the black tie was successful. So that was good. Black tie soccer game. And yeah. So all good things.
And Mikey Dobbs, I heard you lit it up in the
That's
College of Charleston
right.
alumni game.
Yeah, no, it was
Still got it?
it was a really great time. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect going down there.
I was expecting goals.
Yeah, on Friday night though, we got to watch the current College of Charleston team, who was 3-0 going into a game against Jacksonville. So show up at Patriots Point in Charleston, beautiful stadium, same stadium that Charleston Battery plays in.
Nice.
And got to see tons of people from the past. It was very cool. And yeah, we were recognized on center field at halftime. Then the Cougars came through and won the game 2-0, celebrating in the corner with 250 alumni and people screaming.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yay.
So turned out great. Yeah. And then the next day we played some 7v7 with, 5 generations of Cougars. And was that my phone?
No, it might be the Colonel. We may have the Colonel joining us today.
All right. So yeah, I had a great time at the alumni game and survived without injury.
That's impressive.
Then the
That is impressive.
next evening or Saturday evening, we had a little banquet, some speeches, all good stuff.
All right.
Very,
And you did score.
I think it happened, but I missed a bunch of opportunities. I remember
Mikey
that.
Dobbs
I remember
for
that.
Atlanta United.
We played the
Still
older
got
guys. So all right, let's jump in. Right. So
All right.
Atlanta United.
Wait, do we want to see if we do actually have the Colonel and see
Yeah,
if I
we-
can figure this out?
Let's bring on a guest
Let's
right
see.
out of the gate.
Right
Let's see
from
if we
the
can do
beginning.
this. I don't even know what's going to happen, guys. Oh, why is it not working? Let's do this.
Producer's confused.
Uh-oh. Let's see. We're going to try this, guys.
All right.
Uh-oh. Why'd it go black? Let's see. Did I unpause? What am I doing, guys? Unmute request has been sent to. I'm trying.
Yeah.
And it just clicked that?
There's the mute. Yeah.
We're just going to keep talking.
Yeah, y'all
You
keep
press
talking.
buttoning that.
I'm working on it, Colonel.
If he pops up, then
All right. We're at the point at which we can just test technology to try to bring on some
Yes.
fans, and we'll keep working on that. But we actually went on the road against Charlotte FC.
that's correct.
Was that 3 weeks ago now?
It was a while because we
while
had the
ago.
international break in the middle.
Yeah, and we actually played pretty well on the road.
We
And
did.
got a win.
We did.
We had a lot of expected chances on goal. It looked at least lively from the highlights.
We won on the road, Mikey Dobbs.
Yeah.
That never happens. So that was, promising at the time. But yeah. So we predicted the lineup going into that game, and he played the lineup actually that we predicted in the previous podcast. So that was great. And they going into the game, believe it or not, out there, listeners, Charlotte owned a 3-2 all-time series advantage against us. So
really?
we evened it up. So at least that's good because they haven't been good. We seemed,
Very true.
We've gone there twice now and won because believe it or not, Pineda won there also. I don't know what it is about Charlotte, but apparently we can win in Charlotte.
It's Bank of America Stadium?
So we should just play at Charlotte every game.
Oh.
Because other than that, we've been absolutely atrocious. I don't know if you noticed, but in the Leagues Cup, we lost to the worst team in Mexico at home. And we lost to the worst team in the MLS at home. They're no longer the worst team, DC United. But now the new worst team is Nashville, and we lost to them at home. So we've lost twice in the last month to the worst team in the MLS.
Oh,
that's impressive at home.
Oh, man.
So not good. What's the opposite of good? Oh, yeah, bad.
Bad. Very, very.
But anyway, started on a positive note. Jay Fortune, marauding forward, long-range shot.
Yeah, long-range shot. He
scores.
Gets a ball played right up the center. He shoulders somebody off the ball, and then just at that point looks up. He's like 25 yards out and finds a corner. It was a very nice goal by Fortune for sure. I'm sure he's. How many goals does he have? Is that one of his first in the MLS?
I think that's first.
Okay.
One.
Yeah.
He has one.
Oh, wait. I thought it was set up. I'm sorry.
I think it's the next one.
Okay,
here it is right here. Look at that. So
there we go.
I think Silva somehow plays that to him straight up, and he just right there gets by and looks up.
Oh, Fortune with the banger.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Not bad. Keeper should have done better, but
keeper should
never get that
banger.
Well, we're going to call it a banger. We're going to call it awesome, and let's leave it at
Carmen
that.
generously going with the banger. It was a good shot. I don't know about a banger.
I think the fact that he just got it off early, caught the keeper off guard. So good for him.
And he stayed on his feet to be able to get it off, so that was good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see. Before y'all go, is the Colonel possibly there? Colonel, are you there? Anything to share verbally?
I don't know if the internet connection is there.
Okay.
Well, here's something, but it's not good.
There may be an internet.
All right. Sorry, Colonel.
We keep trying.
We'll keep trying. So anything else that you notice in terms of lineup with the Charlotte game that was different than what we saw here recently in Nashville?
No, they played the same way, basically. I mean, there was a change. He made one change in the Nashville game, which is to bring Thierry off and start Rios. But that's not really a tactical. That's just a like for like who you have the preference for. I actually thought in the Charlotte game that Amador, the new left back, was pretty good. Like he actually was getting forward a few times, and for going forward only a few times, he was very effective, and he had set up the goal the previous game. So, I mean, there was some positives there. The one thing I will also say, credit, there was, God bless, there was a lot of Atlanta United fans in Charlotte cheering at that game.
Oh,
okay.
And at first I thought, that is way to go to how hardcore do you have to be to still be very going on the road? But then I thought, I wonder if they bought the tickets at the beginning of the season when they thought we were going to be good.
It doesn't matter. Either way, give recognition where recognition is due.
Anyway, we had a really good traveling support, so that was impressive.
That's good. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's a real positive.
Oh, yeah.
And we no longer have airplanes.
No,
we don't have the flying, whatever. It's much more technically simple.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to it in a minute what I think our biggest problem is. But overall, let's just say the Charlotte game was a positive. Okay. We ended up expected goals 2.15 to 0.96. Shots were 19 to 12, both in favor of us. And possession 51 to 49 on the road. So it was thorough and well-deserved.
All right. So good win.
And you might have even said,
we'll take it.
You build on that.
Okay.
You got a break, and then you come home against the worst team in the MLS.
Yeah. Hold on. But before we play the worst team in MLS, we decide to let go of Carlos Bocanegra.
That's correct.
Yeah. So again, that was probably one of the first times. It was the next time we've heard from Garth Lagerwey from the announcement of firing Pineda, an official presser, where he spoke about letting Carlos Bocanegra go. So that's been like 2 weeks now since that announcement.
Yeah.
And curious what your thoughts are. I listened to the presser and became a little depressored myself.
Where's
but-
the bum?
Why,
Yeah.
Mikey Dobbs?
Well, you know, I again don't like the fact that there's not a plan B already in place. Because look,
right.
I've long said, like, if Bocanegra has run his course with whatever the culture of the club is, and you know, the pressure of the fans wanting him gone or whatever, which has been there for whatever, find like a replacement that is ready to go that's better before you fire him. And just like Pineda, we didn't do that. And now Garth Lagerway has 4 jobs, basically at this point, trying to, you know, make sure Tam and Gam is in order.
The other weird
He's trying
thing
to
is,
hire a new head coach. He's playing GM and technical director.
Presumably, Bocanegra had something to do with Marinchuk coming on board, right? Because that was his main job as the player. So how do you let Bocanegra make the huge decision on Marinchuk, right, as a designated player without a coach, right, and then fire him, right? So if you were going to do that, I mean, you know, I guess you're on board.
Yeah, it seemed like it was like a mutual type of agreement, because it feels like that in some. So
capacity. He thinks that Bocanegra sucks, but he was in agreement that we wanted Marinchuk. It kind of doesn't make sense, right?
None of what he said made sense, because he talked about him bringing on great signings, and I would agree, particularly in the last year and a half, the signings, in my opinion, have been strong enough for us to be very competitive.
He made some really disparaging comments. I mean, it wasn't like directly, but he's like, it's the first time in a long time that the club is moving in a positive direction and blah, blah, blah. I mean, they were not.
Who was this?
This was Garth Lagerway about Bocanegra.
I don't recall disparaging.
It was. He didn't say it directly about him, but he made some comments about, you know, the club had to, you know, move on. It's the first time we're moving in a positive direction in a long time. And it was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't say that unless you think that Bocanegra was really the guy who was holding us back. And I would have to say, Mikey Dobbs, that so you and I might be in agreement, I think. So I think, you know, Bocanegra can be really criticized for 2 major things, right? One, apparently he got into it like he had a falling out with Tata.
Yeah. So
that was bad. And that's probably why Tata's in Miami and not back with us. But so that's not good. What's wrong? You know, why you got to, you know, doesn't bode well. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the contracts, right? He had us, you know, with a number of contracts, but that's, you know, also on Eels. It wasn't Bocanegra by himself, you know, and I think Lagerway had to come in and right the ship, you know, contract wise.
And it was the other guy who ended up in Miami and getting into trouble for cooking the books down there. That was really supposed to be in charge of how our cap was controlled with Tam and Gam and all of that. So I don't put that on Bocanegra. Bocanegra's first and foremost job is to go identify talent both within the MLS, or, you know, at least, you know, in North America and also abroad, right?
And if you, to me, look at the major signings that we've had more recently, starting, you know, sort of when we got Thiago Almada, success.
Yeah.
Yakamaki's a success, right? Silva, you know, you can argue with whatever, but it's certainly a positive player. Saba, I think, is a really good player. I think you realize what the needs were on the team this year with Silva and Gregerson. Yeah. Both look like legit signings. So what are we?
Well, and that was my takeaway with the interview. He didn't have anything really to point to or allude to, because you're not going to throw him under the bus on.
Right.
But he didn't allude to. I actually didn't hear anything disparaging.
All the fans are like, oh, he was the guy who's been ruining the team. And I guess you look long-term perspective, there were a bunch of signings after we won the title. There were some really poor signings.
Yeah.
Right. But they were really handicapped by financial structure. And he kind of got some interim signings. And once they got beyond that, the signings were great again, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Even if you go back to the Marcelino Morenos, right, and even an Araujo, right? You know, Araujo didn't really work out here, but he was
you don't sell
talent.
You don't sell a player on for the MLS for what, $12 million in transfers fee to Flamengo, and Flamengo, who understands talent.
Yeah, and he's done pretty well there.
Yeah, there's a reason.
So
he's a good player.
I don't understand. I mean, outside of the things that we don't really know that much about, like the atmosphere, whatever was going on with Tata, maybe was also going on with our current coaches. Maybe it was going on with Lagerwey. Maybe he was constantly, feuding and butting heads. And then, okay. But in terms of the actual job, who he signed, I don't think you can really. All these people are like, oh, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Just tell me about the player who you think. I mean, outside of once we got past those series of really bad signings after we won the title, right? In the last, let's say, 2 years or so, what's the bad? What's
and
the
I
bad
know
signing?
we try to get Colonel on, a follower on Twitter and listener to the show. If you're listening, curious what your takes are on any bad signings from Bocanegra.
Yeah, please tell us a bad signing, what we think, because I'd like to discuss that.
I would too. I mean, I think you have to manage those expectations with, let's say a Silva or something.
There have been a couple signings who I think have not turned out to be great. Muyumba, maybe. I'm going to go off a little bit on Williams. I think he's not great, but they're not awful signings.
Not horrible.
But I think like a Williams is a perfect example of what we're capable of getting given the limitations of MLS salary. If you're going to get a Gregerson and you're going to get a Bartosz Slice, right? What does that allow you in terms of like truly economic?
Right, you got to have some balance
to go get a veteran that, while he's got his flaws, Williams, up and down, he's not going to press up on people like we want.
What?
But does some things well, right? He gets stuck in, but I think he's a liability at the end of the day. But
yes,
who again, I think that's where you balance coaching by understanding that by playing a Noah Cobb more often, and letting him get those minutes, which we haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't understand why not, especially where we are on the table. Why not Noah Cobb instead of Williams?
Get those minutes, and you don't have to give them all 90. Just you can balance.
Give
that
him a run in the team. See if we do better.
Yeah, 100%.
So have y'all already talked about whether Lagerwey should go out or not? Be out?
Yeah.
Because that's what the Colonel is asking, and I almost just want to hear what Mikey Dobbs.
Well, like I said from the presser, my most disappointing thing is that the fact that he doesn't seem to be prioritizing the hunt for a coach as the number one thing, which should have been top of mind entering the season with Pineda having a very short rope. Mm-hmm. And clearly Lagerwey understood that and was doing the math. He gave Pineda as long as a rope as possible, given the math, and right up until the math said otherwise, that we couldn't be top 4 in the playoffs. He pulls the plug, doesn't have a plan B in place, which to me is the most disappointing thing.
Right.
Look, that's great that you have our spreadsheets looking great now, but if you can't tie your shoe and do a little boogie at the same time, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're not doing your job completely. And the fact that we don't have, a GM in place, which I guess I didn't realize, like, we've had the GM slot open forever, which he's just been fulfilling that role
I didn't even think about
the CEO and president.
Oh, okay.
Because he's very comfortable doing that. Like, that's his thing.
Right.
But like, why? Like, why not? Like, why not hire these people? Especially since he was like, I know all the best GMs. Like, I heard in the presser, he's like, I know all the best GMs in the league. Like, that's who he's going to hire. So we are going to hear an announcement of Lagerwey to hire. Like, from the presser, it seems like he's got somebody.
Okay. Good. At least that's good.
But here's why.
But why not do that earlier? And I just
here's why I would say that I might agree with the Colonel about Lagerwey, because I don't think you can really say that quite yet, but here's the problem, right? So when Lagerwey was doing his so-called math, right, and he said, okay, as soon as we were like at a realistic, really excellent points per game, he kept saying, until we get to a point where at like 2 points per game or whatever it was, we weren't going to be top 4, right? That was the moment, and he waited till that moment, and then he sacked him, right?
Yeah.
But here's where I have to say he's super naive, because I think he really thought the team was really good enough to be top 4, which we agree, right?
Yeah.
And he thought, okay, Pineda was obviously not getting it done, right? And he just thought it didn't matter. The coaching doesn't matter. As soon as you fired him, we were going to go to what our team was, the 2 points per game, and we were going to move in towards the top 4. I really think he thought that, which is idiotic. Really? Because if Pineda is able to ruin that, you have to know that you need a good coach to get the to make the talent as good as they're going to be, and they're not just miraculously going to be that good. And it was, I mean, right after that, we did eventually get rid of Gigi and Almada, but right when he was first gone, we had both of them, and nothing happened.
Yeah. And I keep our Twitter line arguing with some people around the fact that like we haven't been talking to potential candidates in Europe over the summer with any sort of real rigor. And they're like, well, how do you know? And I agree. I am not totally on it, but I am wise enough to read the tea leaves on what's going on. And it's clear, given the soccer world, like if we had actually talked to somebody who would have been a real go-getter, right? Like it would have been like, wow, we got, whoever it is, like let's call it Tuchel, whatever, right? Yep. Like at least we like called him and got rejected. Like none of those rumors ever came through. And it was all that we heard from our camp was like, well, nobody's interested and no one is going to take the job until at the end of the season. And like, what kind of attitude is that? Is that
Allegri still available?
Is that the right attitude when you had like, even before Gigi quit, like not quit, but decided he was quitting on the team and was going to go to, which we didn't have to let him go.
No, but he should not have let him go.
Not.
But we quit. He was ready to move on.
Yes.
But had we brought in a Thomas Tuchel, and I'm just saying,
he would have turned around and
be like, hey, I'm staying here. Maybe
or if it was Allegri or
whatever.
If it was Pochettino or whatever, he would have been like,
I'm throwing names out there.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we would have gotten them.
Okay.
But it's clear that we didn't talk to them. None of them. Nor did we talk to them in the right way, which is Lagerwey getting on a plane.
Right.
Because nobody else is going to do the job.
Right.
Like you got to go talk to somebody in person. You like if you're going to get
Bocanegra and Eels went down to South America to first see Tata at his home.
Yeah, and he had a big notebook. He laid it all out. And you know what? It wouldn't have been surprising if Pochettino, with all this time, be like, you know what? I actually was. Yeah. I've been looking at Atlanta United. Yeah. Instead, he waited on the U.S. men's national team.
Right.
We had no ambition.
No,
I don't care what any of you people on Twitter said. We had no ambition.
And if you want a coach with a winning record, like, I mean, I'm not saying there could be some issues with particularly with English or whatever, but Allegri, I mean, he's won Serie A multiple times. Yeah. He's been to 2 Champions League finals, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and he's still available?
Yes. You don't think that guy would command something here? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying absolutely has to be him, but there are guys, right?
Yeah. So, okay, this is a good transition to the Nashville game that I went to on Saturday, which is one of the more depressing games that I've been to. Although I will say the supporters group, even though minimal compared to the old school supporters group, they came and they were rocking, given the numbers were lower than normal. They made some good noise and energy, at least out of the gates. And then the team came out flat, which I saw that Doug Robertson said, it's amazing over the last 5 years how we can continually to come out flat, even though it clearly has nothing to do with coaching. It's on the players, basically, that's the case. And Brad Guzan said so. It must be true that it's the players that dictate the energy, not coaching. Dave, what do you think about that? Did you hear a good tweet about that?
Yeah, so I have to admit something there, dear podcast listeners. So, it tells you how busy I've been. I'm on Twitter, looking at all the comments about, soccer and football and whatever. And I see this tweet about Atlanta United, and I was like, that tweet makes a lot of sense to me about the coaching intensity and about, the fact that, you need the coach, right? And it wasn't just the players or whatever. And I didn't realize it was Mikey Dobbs. It was our Twitter account. And I was like, wow, that guy makes a lot of sense. Oops.
Every once in a while, I get it right.
I think he said brilliant before. I'm just saying.
It was brilliant. I was like,
but it worries me also that the journalists, right, for the AJC that covers Atlanta United, it can't put that math together, right? Like the equation of a lot of things with this team boil down to over the last 5 years that from Heinze on through Pineda, now with Rob Valentino, we don't get the best of our players and our talent, which particularly the last 2 years has been very solid. And so when you have this ongoing situation where we don't perform as well as we should, and we certainly don't come out with the intensity, which Pineda used to always say, you know whose fault that is, Pineda? That's your fault.
Right.
If the players are that we lack intensity, well, then your preparation, your ability for the players to believe in what you're doing is failing.
Yeah.
And
intensity also, people will go off of me and feel free to criticize, but intensity comes through tactics also, because when you have certain tactics right, so you could be like the most intense right out of the gate. You have some guy who's going to fly around, and if you come out of that and there's an open pass or whatever, it just deflates like a balloon.
Look at
right? There has to be certain tactics to get it right.
Yeah, look at Leeds United under when it worked and when it didn't. They always came out intense.
Yeah,
talk about a team that always was going to come out intense.
Yeah, Bielsa had them super intense, and then
when those tactics they would work, they worked.
Yep.
When the tactics didn't work and they were playing against a better team, they failed, and the tactics needed to be adjusted. But Bielsa was never going to change his tactics, to your point. And that set the team up for failure, where that intensity usually died in the second half, to be fair to the players. Talk about one of the most fit teams in the world.
Gosh, yes,
I mean, they'd check their body fat to make sure it was -7.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So one thing I have to say, so I agree with you. The supporter section still bringing it, which is awesome. But I have two things that I want to say about, again, and this is my critique that I've said before. I'm going to say it again, right? So watching the Premier League, Man United this weekend, right? They're playing Southampton, right? And so Southampton, it's like the fourth game in the season.
They won 3-0.
Yeah, they won 3-0. But in the first half, Southampton has a debut of a 17-year-old kid, right? And in the first, like one of his first touches of the thing, he goes and absolutely blows by Delo, cuts inside, and he whips across that Anana just barely saves. It was amazing. Really good. Okay. He has had at that moment 7 minutes of Premier League time.
Yeah.
Okay. 7 minutes. The crowd uniformly erupts into a specific song about him.
Yeah.
At the 7-minute mark. He's been a player for 7 minutes as a professional. They already have a song for him that everybody knows. Now, I know he's a big prospect, but still, how long have we had a team and we don't have a song for Saba?
Well, maybe. I'm just saying maybe they had a song primed for Marinchuk, but he didn't do shit.
Marinchuk didn't do shit. And then I wanted to say the other thing. I'm going to see if I can get it to play for y'all. So the Arsenal-Tottenham derby. Right. So Arsenal won, they score, right? And this is what I want to create, people. Let's see if you guys can hear it, right? I'm gonna try to play it for you. Oh, hold up.
Love it.
Cheer up, Postecoglou, right?
Yeah.
That's the coach for. So they got a song to taunt the opposing coach. Even do we have a song to taunt opposing coach?
Yeah, no, I mean
why not?
And it doesn't even have to be like out of the cuff. Like Anthony Gordon, is that his name, for Newcastle?
The blind guy.
Yeah, fabulous player.
Yep.
Young talent. Like he just took the game on his shoulders and almost scored. And the Newcastle fans and media are like, Anthony Gordon. They just made some song up. I'm like, how do they do that?
I mean,
and it was about the moment. It wasn't about.
Oh, I was about to say. I mean, can't we at least go the AI route? Like, just give us give us a chant. Here's our player. Here's what we kind of want in the song.
We got to have a whole podcast, and if no one else going to do it, well, let's make up all the songs.
I mean,
and then we'll just give them out, and let's see if maybe somebody will sing them.
Okay.
Because we got to have. I mean, Saba's a cheeky little bastard.
Yeah.
And he deserves a song.
Okay, well, that should be in the song. Cheeky little bastard.
Yeah. I'm gonna make this up right now.
And I was gonna say, so here's something that you could use, Mikey Dobbs.
Okay.
Right? Which I thought was amazing.
Okay.
right? So Marinchuk is Russian, right?
Yeah.
And Saba's Georgian, right?
Mhm.
They're very close by, right? So the commentator, and I don't know whether he made this up or whether this is an actual thing, but apparently he referred to them as the Black Sea Brothers, which I think is pretty awesome. We should have a Black Sea Brothers song. All right. It's catchy. They're both on the Black Sea, people, Georgia, Russia.
All right.
Right? Why not?
So Marinchuk and Saba.
Yeah, the Black Sea Brothers.
Make a soccer chant about Marinchuk and Saba, who are the Black Sea Brothers.
Mikey Dow's is going to do it live on the air.
Oh, my
Ready?
goodness.
AI, it's genius. We'll wait
Wow.
for you. It's
I was about to
okay.
say, I feel like y'all know enough people like in the supporters group that should be able to
We're
like.
about to go live, where you can explore complex topics.
Oh.
right
Oh, that is not
Oh,
it,
so
Mikey
that's
Dow.
Cancel. No, we failed. failed.
We'll have to
We're
work
gonna
on
do
it and
this.
post something.
Stories told from the Black Sea, they rise and score. Black Sea Brothers forevermore. Aaron, Chuck, and Saba, side by side, Black Sea Brothers, full of pride. Every pass and every shot, Black Sea Brothers, never caught.
I'll
So
take it.
We just
I could do
Okay,
better,
I mean, we
but
can
it's
do
pretty
better.
good.
I
But
think-
it's something.
I mean,
I-
AI people,
if
you
I'm
can
not-
invent these
I mean,
things in like
I can
a
give
half
you a better
second.
prompt than that to
Yeah.
produce better
yeah.
content.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like it. So but that's the point, man.
Okay. Question: do other MLS teams, are they okay with, like, do they do a good job
Not
with this chance?
the
Or is
best.
Not really.
the
There's
best?
some that's
Okay.
a little bit better than us, but no, not really.
Okay.
It's like an American thing. We haven't figured it out yet.
It's like we can't dance. We're like,
I mean, we should be able to figure. We're Atlanta.
I'm a part of that.
And how amazing it would be to taunt. I mean, how much do Americans love to taunt the other coach or whoever?
Because we're not good right now. We can at least taunt.
Let's
people.
have like a Hani Mukhtar, like, yeah, you used to be the MVP, but now you suck.
Yes.
Right?
I love
When's
this.
the last time you scored? Hani Mukhtar,
Yeah.
of course, he then scored, but against us, he could score. Yeah,
make
but
good
come on. Like, we got nothing. We got no product on the field. So we might as well be having fun in the
Yeah.
stands, right?
Yeah.
So let's have some taunting chants,
I like it.
right? We got Messi coming in.
You can't taunt Messi. Stop it.
Why don't we have some song about
Well, that's a
you
mistake.
washed up
Let's not-
Barcelona,
let's-
whatever?
No.
Let's- I
That's
like-
too far.
Suarez, fine. Let's taunt Suarez, the
Awesome.
ear biting.
Can do it.
He's an ear biter from Paraguay.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
the classic with Suarez.
Mike
Luis
Tyson is
Suarez.
here for
No.
the match.
No.
I know
Luis Suarez, your teeth are offside. Right? 'Cause he's good.
I like how we're off the rails.
Anyway, but my point being, it doesn't matter against Miami. We can taunt them and then they'll hammer us, or we can not taunt them and they'll hammer us. They're going to hammer us.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So you might as well taunt them.
May as well. Got nothing else going
Right.
on.
So, we are 10th on the table after losing to Nashville
At home.
at home. What is
Last place, Nashville, who hadn't won a game in 8. They had 8-game losing streak.
so? What is your predict? We beat Miami last time we played them, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We
At
did.
Had one of
Miami.
our best games of the season.
We did.
Now they're coming here at home. Messi's back playing. He had 2 goals in his last game.
You know what
So
they
it's-
say about a broken clock, right?
Yeah. I like. What are your predictions?
Loss.
Loss.
Yeah. I mean, there is no conceivable way on the planet we're not losing.
I said the same thing when we went to Miami.
It doesn't matter.
I know, but I was just as
It's
flabbergasted.
over.
We had Gigi and Thiago Amado.
Yeah,
when went
we
there.
had a much better
Yeah.
team,
We did. Yeah.
and it was just like,
No
every
chance.
once in a while. But
Are we saying
We're-
really no chance?
we're
Like,
terrible.
I
You want to
know.
talk about why
Yeah,
we're
we're-
terrible? You want to talk about this?
Yeah,
game?
it's
Let's talk about what was terrible in this game, right? So people say we're just terrible, and that
This
you
is
know.
the Nashville game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay. So first of all, right, we are second in the entire MLS in crosses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest culprit is Lennon, who actually can cross the ball really well. Do we ever score off of crosses? Do we have anybody who's going to go attack a cross?
You would think Rios and Tiare have
Maybe.
the size to do that. But are they running into the box and in the right spot?
No.
Like you saw.
No.
Remember Yakamakis? You're like, oh, he's getting open. Look at that, he's in there.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
You can
Yakamakis would go attack a ball.
You
Oh, yeah,
could
he
see
was.
a player that understood how to go up and get a header, and that was Yakamakis. That is missing.
Yeah.
Rios and Tiare do not have that in the bag.
No.
And they don't have a lot in the bag either. But I mean,
Yeah.
like Tiare at least has some skill in the ball, and
I can remember like 2 goals maybe on
Yeah.
like as I'm thinking.
but at
about
least
it.
Rios does get in the box. You know,
he's not
he's
Miguel
got some-
Berry.
he's not Miguel Berry.
Doesn't move in the box. I mean, there was
Doesn't move in the box, but he gets into the box, which is better than Miguel Berry. Is all I'm saying. Which it makes me happy.
This is where
Like,
we are now.
Yeah. I
At
don't-
least he's not
Yeah.
Miguel Berry. Is the
Yeah.
best we can do.
That's it. That's it.
you lowered the bar. Yeah. So first of all,
Maybe we could come
Lennon
up with
in
some
this game.
chance to make fun of our own players.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. So in
Rios,
this game,
that hair. You don't care.
You're standing
You
around.
need to score. We need more.
You're bored. All right.
I should go to the AI.
Yeah, it's better than you. So Lennon multiple times was in a position to cross. He was looking, in a whipping cross, and Rios is just standing there looking at him. Like anytime the ball goes out and Lennon, you're at least like, hey,
It's coming in.
it's coming in. You might
Uh-huh.
as well go after it, right? There was another one. Mascara had a beautiful cross actually with his left foot, put it out
Yeah.
there, and Rios just watched and gave up on it. You're like, you might want to go fight for that.
Mm.
So anyway, my point being, okay, it's not working. Our crosses are not working. Why are we still second in the MLS in crossing when our team can't score off of crosses? Stop it. Just stop it.
Can I ask you a question? Because I was trying to observe what the real issue was in our midfield between Sleece, Fortune, and Marinchuk, but it wasn't working. It looked horrible. What was
Yeah, you
what
know
was
what
what
the
was going
problem
on in
was?
that center mid?
It wasn't the center mid. So Hani Mukhtar has been absolutely terrible this season, right? He's just disappeared. He was the MVP,
Yeah.
right? And he's
Mhm.
just disappeared, right? And part of it is because he's lost a step, right? So he's kept dropping in to the hole, right, in front of the backs. And he's really easy to defend because you can go right up to that and you can beat him to the ball. And if he tries to run by you, he ain't going to do it because he's not fast anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what everybody in MLS has been doing. But us, no, we just let him drop in. They gave him the ball every single time. It doesn't matter what you're doing in the midfield. If they can bypass it with a pass to Hani Mukhtar every single time, when is somebody going to come out and actually mark him?
So you're saying it's our back line?
Yeah,
stepping
our
up.
back
Derek
line was
Williams and-
killing our midfield.
But doesn't Gregerson typically step on people's back?
Yeah. And you know where Hani Mukhtar was going every time?
Derek Williams'
To
side.
Williams' side. Every single time. He never went over there. Never.
Okay.
Never.
Because
Like,
yeah,
the entire game.
Gregerson.
Now maybe it was just
Gregerson
luck.
loves to get a yellow card by being on somebody's back.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he
He would
does.
break
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Derek Williams.
Not so
Hani
much.
Mukhtar the entire time was on our right side, in between Williams and Amador. In that pocket, he was dropping, and he was like,
Mm.
Yeah.
have you ever seen you're on an airplane?
Yeah.
They got those things. He was like standing there, like, here's the hole. Play it. Here's the gap. Here's
Yeah.
the gap, people.
Yeah.
You know how like people have to play that amazing line splitting double pass or
Now-
whatever. Nobody had to do that. A kindergartner could have played that. The hole was like the Titanic.
Okay. There we go. Derek.
So that was what
Williams.
our problem was in the million. Williams will never, ever, ever step up. He just backs up, he backs up to the point where the first goal that we gave up, I kid you not. So Lennon gets torched out wide, and maybe we realized why Pineda wouldn't let him go mark out there. He just went right by him. So maybe I got to give you a little,
All right.
Well, he's not a fullback.
Well, clearly it wasn't that. He got torched. Anyway, the guy went right by him and then crossed it. As he's crossing, okay, you would think Williams, strong, big guy, right? You would think, okay, going to go challenge for the cross. You know what he did? He backed up to cover the post on a cross in our box. Okay. And when it got flicked down to the wide open guy who put it in, you know why he was onside?
Because
somebody's
somebody's on the
Williams
Standing
was
on the post.
standing on the post.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, he even backing up in our own 6-yard box. If that is not backing up, there is no other backing up.
Brutal. I got to go and watch this.
Oh
afterwards.
my
All right.
God. If
I
you
don't-
watch the goal,
I
he's
don't wanna
standing on the
watch.
post. You're like, you might want to go actually challenge for the ball, right?
Was that the first or second goal?
Let's see.
I have a feeling that was the second.
You can go find it. Go find it, Carmen.
All right, on it.
Yeah.
Goodness
So-
gracious.
What do you think the score of the Miami game is going to be if we're going to lose?
A lot to nothing.
You think it's going to be like 3-1?
No. It's gonna be 5-0.
5.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
We're getting run off the park.
I think you might be right.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
Messi
No.
is hot. They are ready
feeling
to go.
really good
They're
about
feeling
things.
good.
So does Messi start? Does Messi play? Does he get rid of this turf myth, or does the turf myth linger?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get the turf myth. Maybe.
Is now the game where Tata's like, hey, we're
No,
finding enough on the table.
And you know what? You know what I was telling you? I was telling you earlier, right? So Tata was asked, okay, Messi hasn't played since the Copa America, right? Because he did his ankle in the final, right? He comes back. And if this is Atlanta United, okay, Mikey Dobbs, please tell you, if you've been out a month and you're coming back for Atlanta United, what minute are you entering the game?
If I'm coming in,
No, just any player for Atlanta United over the last 6 seasons.
oh, you're probably not. Like
Well,
you're probably coming in
but
the 80th.
eventually you're coming in the 80th minute, maybe the 70th.
70th, 80th minute. If
Yeah.
you're Atlanta United,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying if it's my choice.
No,
I was like,
no.
I'm like,
This is
start
what's
me.
actually happening, right?
Yeah.
So when did Messi come on in this game? When they were playing at home after a month off? When did he come on in this game?
Don't know.
It's called the starting lineup.
Ah,
They put him in the freaking starting lineup.
why would you do that, Dave?
And when Tata was asked about it, they said, why did you put him in the starting lineup? And you know how many minutes he played, Mikey Dobbs?
I'm gonna go with 9-0.
He played 90 minutes. And when Tata was asked about a news conference, he said, they were like, why did he start? Why did he play 90 minutes? Aren't you going to protect him? And he's like, we are at the end of the season. He is a good player and he needs to play.
Simple as that.
What?
And by the way, for Atlanta United fans, you don't make the bench unless you are healthy.
Right.
Like they are so cautious nowadays, particularly
Mhm.
that you don't even make the starting lineup unless like you are proven on the practice field to be ready to go.
I mean,
So you're ready to go, baby. Like there's
we said this coming back, right? Marinchuk, when
that's
we
right.
needed him in LA, right? Came off the bench in the
Yeah.
70th, 75th minute, right? I'm like, the guy is fit,
wasted,
no injuries,
wasted 70 minutes
just
of
coming off the preseason.
had
And just
training
because
for like
his
a week or more.
preseason was a little shorter, he had been with the team for 3 weeks, and we play him for 15 minutes. Start the guy.
Yeah.
yeah. We need every bit of like if you're hoping we're gonna make the playoffs.
Messi, if anybody is going to be cautious, you should be cautious with the best player of all time, who's like,
Yeah,
That's
how
what
old
I-
is he?
that's what
And
I thought would
Miranchuk's
happen.
29.
Yeah, and you already got the playoffs in a lock, right?
Right.
Yes, you're running away with it, and Tata's still like he's
Yes.
good and he's going to play. So come on.
Let that be a lesson to you, Atlanta United fans.
Yeah.
Did
Anyway.
y'all want to go back and watch the goal or no?
Yeah, let's watch
Sure.
the goal.
Why not? Let's see.
So let's
what we
see Lennon
got.
get beat like a cone.
Sorry, I don't know why I found that funny every time. All right, coming up, I think. Fingers crossed, gentlemen.
Ooh. Is this where he just
There,
gets
that's
beat?
just got beat by like a
Yeah.
cone.
All right.
Watch what Williams is wide open on the side. Where does he go on the cross? Ah! He goes to the back post. There is a cross. Show it again.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Go back.
We're not going to replay it for you.
Because I'm gonna
Oh, keep going. Boop.
point
Yeah,
to.
I mean, Guzan needs to do better there too, boy.
Well, this is the end of it. Go back. Go all the way back. So
All the
first-
way back.
Okay, so Lennon gets beat. Pause there.
No, you might be perfect.
Yeah.
Ah!
What are
Wait,
you
where's your
doing?
thing? Oh, you have
I
it.
got.
Oh, Dave's supposed to be in
Okay.
charge.
Sorry.
All right. Right. So their guy who scores he had run off the field. Let's go back. Let's just diagnose this play, right? So first of all, they don't, they cut it off that they're being blessed for Lennon right there, right? I mean, he gets beat like a cone right there, right? I mean,
and he had the sideline as his friend, and he still couldn't even
he dove in, he got beat, whatever.
How about a foul there? You know?
Yeah. So now let's go. So he's running in. Okay, so now here's the cross. Okay, so this is Amador, this is Williams, right? So they got a double team going here. Where you look, marked up here, right? Amador is here. Jay Fortune's got his guy. Sleaze has tracked all the way back. So if it's beat him, right, he's going to cover in. That's what he's supposed to do, right? So they cross it. And there's nobody to cross. So he crosses it behind him, right? It goes all the way past everything. We even have Silva back. Okay. Now, what I want you to watch.
Derek Williams facing the ball, ready to address it and close space. Right?
I'm
saying he's watching the play. He could do that. He could choose to close space and close the ball wherever it goes. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
Right. So comes here. What are you doing? So first of all, what are you doing? I guess going to near post or whatever. But he should be kind of coming out to help.
He's eyeballing the guy at the top of the circle, right?
Not anymore. He just took it.
Not anymore after he just drifted off. But so now he's in no man's land.
Okay. Now, first of all, that's there. And is Lennon aware of this guy back here? No, he's absolutely clueless. It's actually Sleaze who's come back and helping Gregerson here. Williams is doing nothing, right? Anyway, I want you to watch. I'm going to go through it slow. I want you to watch what Williams does, right? So they get it back. Here comes the cross. It's contested because Silva did really well to track.
Watch as it go over his head.
Right, it goes over his head, right? So at that moment, that ball goes over your head. What are you doing as a center back? You should really be aware of where the people are. You should be getting people out of the thing, right? He goes and runs back into our goal. I know he's thinking, maybe I'll clear it off the line or whatever, right. But that is the most, defeatist ever. And so what happens when he runs there, this guy was offside the entire time. It falls to him, right? And he's now onside. Everybody is off. And you look at Gregerson.
No, because look at who's off the field.
Those guys are both off the field.
So Gregerson my point is that keeps him on. Even if
they're off the field, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. That keeps, if our player is there, that keeps him on side.
No, that's not true. You can go off the field. You can't step off the field to pull him offside, but if you guys go off the field, he could be offside. Anyway, the point was, even if that's true,
about that, Carmen.
Even if that's true, right? Williams supposed to be here, and you can see it by Gregerson. Gregerson's putting his arm up like, that's my line. I know that's my line, right? But wait, Williams is back here, right?
Now, I will say, though, if he had been quicker, he could have cleared that off the line.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what kind of defender just always runs to help he's like playing goalie.
It was terrible goalkeeping by Brad Guzan. It was terrible line defending by Williams. It was bad all around. There's players Lennon is, what is he doing? What was Lennon doing there?
I don't know. All watching.
Yeah, it was. Didn't get up for it. Didn't get up for that. Just awful soccer.
Lennon is a really not good defender. He's really good at serving the ball, but he's not a good defender.
No.
But the entire game, Williams was backing up the entire game. Hani Mukhtar was dropping into the space, and he just let him have it. And Hani Mukhtar killed us in this game. Yeah. He was on the ball and on the ball and on the ball and on the ball, right?
Okay. So enough about Nashville. Games. I was there. I saw it. We don't need to talk it anymore.
Yes.
Carmen,
yes.
Did you watch the Man United game?
I watched highlights. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I watched the game.
Okay. So in the 70th something minute, they finally bring on Ugarte.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, you're dude.
In the last 15 minutes or whatever it was, he was on 20 minutes, whatever it was. He won the ball up the field 4 times. Okay. First of all. Second of all, if you watch him, this guy hasn't played a minute for Man United. This is his first minutes, whatever.
Correct.
Right? The team's coming up the field. We're in the front thing. He turned around. He was screaming at the back line.
Oh, he was
and he
for real.
Was like, you, here, stop it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So you're happy about your man.
God bless. Like, because if Sleaze would do that, and Sleaze, I think, he's the MLS, Ugarte, if you will. He can read the game that well. But he needs to turn around and scream at Williams and be like, get up and get your effing FF on Hani Mukhtar. Why are you leaving him there?
Yeah.
Let's go play. Let's try to win the ball.
Well, where's Gregerson? I thought he would be the FF.
Yeah.
On
maybe.
Yeah. I thought it would be more of Gregerson to do that.
Yeah, but I was so impressed. I was like, this guy hasn't played a minute for, and he's screaming at the back line in the first 5 minutes on the game. He's like, no, you play with me, we play.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, God.
So during the Nashville game, I heard rumblings that
rumblings
okay. That it apparently Garth has his coach already picked.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, inside sources.
This is not a good thing, Carmen.
Oh, not a good thing?
No.
I thought we wanted a coach picked. No.
We do, right? We want the right coach.
We want the right coach.
You cannot mess up
no.
the next coaching.
No, you can't.
And Carmen, what is
it?
What was our number one criteria for a coach?
Oh, we had a number. I mean, win. They've had to win.
They need to have a winning record as a head coach.
Which was like at least like 3 seasons is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think more than a season.
Somewhere in that range.
A track record of winning.
A track record of winning.
Yes.
Like whether it's 2 years in a row somewhere
where
it's significant, right?
Yes.
To where it's like, all right, this wasn't a coincidence.
You're right. And head coaching.
And they're about to hire a guy who was sacked at his last 3 jobs.
No.
Yes.
I'm just going to say no.
This is Dave's prediction. When I said that there were rumors that we are about to announce the next Atlanta United coach, Dave was like, I know who it is. So I'm really curious. This he's got a big head. And I mean,
I don't know. This is not my forte. This is not my area of predicting crystal ball. My forte is understanding the game, like predicting the politics of it and who's going to go where. No.
True.
But you seem pretty confident.
I seem pretty confident because I've heard the rumors. And right now, the timing of it. Who is going to come right now?
I meant that as a compliment. You're usually spot on with these things, which has me nervous.
I'm nervous.
Oh gosh, who is it? I don't want to know. Do I want to know?
He is was one of my favorite players when I used to be an Arsenal player.
No.
He's coached in the MLS previously.
It's not Thierry. No.
No, it's not Thierry Henry.
It's not Thierry Henry.
No, Thierry Henry
is
he
has
actually
broadcasting
worse.
And he's getting paid more than God.
It's Patrick Vieira. To the U.S. national team.
Somebody should put a straitjacket on this guy.
Was rumored to be going after as well. Patrick Vieira was in the mix.
Oh, for a national job.
For U.S. men's national team.
Oh, U.S. men's national team. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
kind of.
Yeah. And
I mean, he was a part of the headlines is all I'm saying. How real it was, I don't know. I actually have not read anything in the trades about Patrick Vieira. I haven't read anything in the trades about any coaching rumors for Atlanta United. So where are you digging this out of, Dave?
I heard some rumors over the last 3 weeks that they were gonna sign Patrick Vieira, and then it calmed down a little bit.
Okay. All right.
And I thought, okay, good, whatever. But 2 things happened that make me believe. One is you saying the timing of it. Mm-hmm. There are not that many coaches available right now, and Patrick Vieira is available. Okay. And then second, the thing that I really don't like is Lagerwey came out and he was like, it would really be good if we had someone with MLS experience. Mm-hmm. And that's a kiss of death.
Yeah.
Right? Why?
Yeah. I have a feeling.
Why do we need that? I mean, if we have an MLS coach who actually has a winning record and has done really well. So, okay, so people want to know, let's just talk about Patrick Vieira, if he's going to be the guy. So he had a season and a half, 2 seasons that were pretty good at New York. Okay, so he coached in the MLS at New York, right? And he started out, they were doing pretty poorly, and he finished 12th or something the first season. It wasn't really good. And then he moved them up to 4th or 5th.
Okay.
So they were pretty good. And he earned a move. He left them midway. They weren't doing that well. He left them midway. He didn't light it up. He didn't come close to winning an MLS title. It was encouraging. It was his first ever coaching, right? Mm-hmm. He goes to Nice, right? Mediocre at best. Gets sacked.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he goes to Crystal Palace And I think he initially helped them.
Initially, they did pretty well.
It wasn't
They had the
bad.
very first 6 months, he was pretty good there.
Yeah.
But then the subsequent, they just went right into the trash, and they fired him because he started out the season with no wins in 12 games, and they were in last place.
Yeah.
So he got sacked.
Mhm.
Okay. Then he got the bailout in Strasbourg back in France, sucked and got sacked.
And now he's jobless.
He has a lifetime goal differential coaching wise.
Oh no, what?
Minus. We're not talking about how much he has plus.
Yeah.
A lifetime minus. His teams has given up more goals. Now people say, oh, but he hasn't coached the best team. Still.
Yeah.
Come
out with defense first then.
He's winning percentage all time is 350, 370.
Yeah, not good. That's Pineda numbers.
Yeah.
That's really not.
Why does that say to you
And
he
this
can
is what I
coach
don't
Atlanta?
Get, with the one thing that we can't get wrong is the next coach.
Right.
The one thing that we have the ability to write a check for is a great coach.
Right.
And not compromise on it at all. And
Right.
you're right. I am okay with us going into the springtime.
Yeah.
Of making sure we
At
get
this
it right.
point,
at this
there's no
point, at
urgency.
this point, absolutely.
There was urgency in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
Right.
there was
At this
urgency
point.
in June when we were already planning to fire Pineda. It wasn't a surprise. There was urgency in my mind anyway. Now that ship has sailed. I agree, people. If you're not, I know you're not listening to the podcast. You only listen to my stupid tweets. But
Not too many people listening to Atlanta United at all these days. Stadium is
it's just
crickets.
brutal, man. Get it right, and that way, it's
go make a boss move. Go
Yes.
get one of the best
I want
coaches. Even honestly, Pareja, the Orlando coach, who honestly continues to get his team towards the top with a far inferior side to what we have. He'd be way better. I'm not saying we should sign him. He wouldn't be my first choice, but he's way better than Vieira. MLS experience. Go raid another team.
I'm not with you there.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say it, but go make a statement.
No, go get
right?
there's
Go get
plenty-
Noonan from Cincinnati, or go get
Why are we
Nancy from Columbus.
I disagree in looking at MLS coaches.
If you're going to go MLS experience, go get one-on-ones, raid an enemy, make them worse, make us better, or go hire Allegri.
Yeah.
The guy can coach.
Do you think that we've even attempted to call
To contact
reach out?
Allegri? No,
Yeah.
because they're just he won't come here. Why not? Why not? I mean, he got fired by Juventus twice, despite doing really well both times. Right?
We have no Lagerwey is not a recruiter. That's why that guy is so uninspiring.
Yeah.
That press, I'm
because he doesn't think it's that important.
I was like, how are you going to get a great coach here? You're making me snore during this press conference that you don't think a coach is that important.
Yeah.
And that you've got Tam and Gam in order. And that's great.
Yeah.
And will you just let the guy who has been signing good talent the last year and a half go, but aren't really explaining why that was a great idea, logically. I get it from all other perspectives, but it just isn't, nothing is adding up. And now you're carrying the weight of 4 jobs as the CEO. You've got CEO, president, GM, technical director, and the guy who's got to be in front of the press, whatever that is, that role is.
And it really shouldn't be him, it seems like.
No. It's a disaster.
So y'all were talking at the beginning and I was fiddling with all the buttons and stuff. So in terms of the order of what we need to fill these roles in.
Yeah.
Do y'all think it matters whether we get a coach first, get a technical director first, get a G, or
coach first?
Coach first. Okay.
Well, you could, at this point, I could see hiring a technical director, helping to bring on board the coach. I got no problem with that.
Oh yeah,
we got an off season to do it.
Yeah, if you got the right, I mean, the answer is also depending on what the cards are dealt.
Got it.
Or what's out there.
So it's not important.
One thing I wouldn't be happy
coach
with,
is most important, but if you have an opportunity to sign a great GM,
got it,
or a great technical,
I wouldn't be happy if we hire a coach, a week or 2 weeks before next season. I think the coach needs to be in place, very early in the offseason.
Got it.
But we have time before that. I mean, we're still, a couple months with the playoffs and stuff for MLS season. Then there's the whole offseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's why it's very easy to see. They've already made their decision. They've already talked to likely Patrick Vieira, who wants to start the season with a head start, to be knowing he's got the job, knowing he's going into preseason, to have the winter transfer window to pick up another designated players, even if that's Garth helping do the signings with it's Garth, because it seems like there's such a separation of church and state with who the talent is versus what the coach's philosophy is, which to me is weird anyway. But Lagerwey also said that's how he's done it his entire career. That's how it's going to be.
The
here.
coach doesn't necessarily have to. I like the fact that there can be people signing that are independent of the coach, because it gives them, sometimes the coaches get overly wedded to whatever their system, but you have to have the coach involved with it, because the coach has to be helping you to say, this is kind of what I need.
Yeah.
Now, they don't necessarily shouldn't be able to say, I'm going to pick this guy. But if I need, what does Atlanta United need, right? Number one, we need a striker who can score. Yeah. And then we probably need a center back to replace Williams. But if you got those two, that would go a long way. Then obviously the next thing is anything you can get creatively in the midfield.
We need a right back too.
I agree with you. I think Williams and Lennon should go, because we need defending.
Lennon's got to go.
Got to play defense.
Yeah. Got to be able to play defense. Now, if we are in a 5 in the back and Lennon was playing like that's a different role.
Or if you get another right back, you could push Lennon up. I wouldn't have a problem with him being a winger.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with him, like he and Saba, like they both.
But if you're going to do that, you need to have people who are going to get on the end of those crosses, right?
Yeah. Lennon's fine on the offensive third.
I mean, if you sign the striker as a Thiago Almada type, then no, because Lennon ain't going to serve to Thiago Almada, right? Yeah. If it's a Yakamakis, sure.
Yeah.
Because, he's going to go ahead of goal, right? But
so I'm excited to see Thiago Almada play Europe. See how that goes.
Yeah.
And who's he with again?
He is with
Marseille, right?
Marseille? No, is it Marseille?
I guess
Marseille.
I have a
you can look it up. I think
it's
Marseille. In any case, I think we need a coach and then the designated players.
Yep.
We clearly have 2 designated players coming, right? Or we have the opportunity to hire 2 designated players. I don't know.
And the advantage of already having Patrick Vieira already signed is you can be talking to him on the phone about those decisions going into the winter window. Be like, here's who we're targeting. What do you think? Right? Does it match what you're trying to fulfill in terms of your system?
Yeah, but he's the wrong guy.
We agreed, but sounds like that's who's coming.
I think so.
Because this is what I'm saying. It makes sense from what we've heard from Garth Lagerwey.
Yeah, I agree.
And
maybe he'll surprise us. I don't know.
I don't know. I actually like Vieira's coaching at that stint at Crystal Palace. They were a fun team to watch.
There were some moments they were
playing really well, but so I don't know. There would be some optimism.
Do I think that Patrick Vieira is the worst coach of all time? Is he Pineda? No. But I think he has had enough opportunity that if he were a really, really great coach, he would not have been sacked the last 3 times. One of those places, it would have worked out pretty well for him. And he would have gotten, instead of, when you're playing at Nice.
So would you say it's like Frank de Boer level then, though?
Yeah, he could be Frank de Boer level.
Okay, well, maybe we'll win some hardware.
Maybe, but I don't want Frank de Boer level.
I don't either. That's what we keep saying. We don't need to stoop there.
Yeah, we're Atlanta United.
Yeah.
What does that even mean now, though, guys?
It still means from a coaching standpoint, you have a world-class stadium, you have a world-class training ground, you have the most money in MLS, you're in the United States, you're in a great city, right?
You have
players right now. No, I wouldn't go to Atlanta United. It's a mess. Right. But if I'm a coach, I would go to Atlanta United, because then the players.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. If you get a coach, it all changes.
Yeah.
Tata Martino comes
tomorrow.
It changes tomorrow. Tata Martino.
That's a great point.
Think about it. If Tata Martino comes back here tomorrow, every player in South America is like, yes, I would go there. I would go there.
So who's that person? Who's that person who everybody wants to come?
Allegri.
That's it. Is there anybody else? It's not Vieira.
Who else is
Not
there?
Vieira. Like,
Yeah.
they know, they know who
That's who I
they
want.
know who he is as a player, but they're like, that's not going to help them as a
Yeah.
player to be like, oh, I love the way you played at Arsenal as a defender.
That's who we should be looking for. Who is it that people
Yeah.
want to come and play for us? Because we don't have the LA
Are there
and
any
Miami.
Liga MX coaches out there that?
The Argentinian national team coach.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Scaloni.
Yeah. Scaloni.
That
Might
would
be
be-
ready to move on from the Argentinian national
That
team.
would be a snafu.
Because he
Yeah.
would have all the connections, all the young players. So,
Oh, sorry.
Again, though, like that's the problem. I love that example because it's audacious.
yeah, reach out. See what
It's
happens.
audacious, and we have not been working the system. Like if you're like not working the system, there's no more system to work. It's log away with this spreadsheet, being like, the Tam game looks good. We're gonna find an MLS coach who understands the capital league, and then I know how to get a GM that can service because I know I've been in this league for like the league is passing him on. I feel it. I already feel like this.
Really?
I'm just sweating thinking about this already.
I agree.
Really am.
Yeah, I think Patrick Vieira has just a ceiling, which is it's going to be at. And then you might say he might be a little better because we would have the better players or whatever. But you need a coach to win MLS now. I mean, I think this is where I totally disagree with Lagerwey in some respects. I think he says the coach is not that important. And maybe that was true 10 years ago in MLS. That is not true anymore.
No.
The coach is everything.
Mhm.
All right. And I might go after, I don't have any problem with going after a Pat Noonan.
Yeah, as long as it's
because you raid Cincinnati and you get better yourself, you can offer him way more money. And he might be frustrated at this point because he's done so well there.
Yeah.
He's never going to get the money to get the best players in. And he's still always going to be behind. He's behind Columbus. He's behind Inter in terms of the talent on the field. Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because he's in Cincinnati. It's a smaller market. Right. Even Columbus is a smaller market. So he might just be like,
so we're going to announce
and now he's like a
Pat
Cincinnati
Noonan
boy.
next week.
That would be amazing. But no, you can't. That's what
So
the whole
that would
point
make
is.
you happy. Noonan.
No, but he's never going to be announced next week because
Right.
he's going to finish the season for Cincinnati. So that there's
Yeah.
no chance of him.
That's why.
There's no chance it could be him. That's why I'm disappointed. Like, it was the end of the season. You could have said,
course
like,
not.
approach him the day after he gets eliminated from the playoffs.
And that's the thing. It seems like getting an MLS coach is almost too late because it seems like they'd be so focused. Like,
Or even Wilfred Nancy. Everybody thinks
but-
he's going to Europe, but maybe.
but yeah, all the coaches that we would want they need to be focused on their job right now. They
Yeah.
don't need to be distracted by
Exactly.
a phone call from Garth Lagerwey trying to poach them.
Right.
So they're not an option.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So it's the Patrick Vieira.
Right. And the problem that you have is the European, so there's some coaches who like are really, really good and then maybe don't quite make it at the top European club. Let's go with the example. I don't think it's that way, but let's say, Ten Hag had been fired this offseason, right? Ten Hag would be a guy who would be a great hire, amazing record at Ajax, didn't quite get it done at the top club, got fired maybe too early if that were the case for Man United. Right. The problem is that window was the last European window, right? We fired Pineda right in that moment. It was right at the end of the season for Europe. So you knew who all those guys were.
Well,
And then they could have gone after any of them.
Well, I mean, that's also a perfect example. We had no ambition, right? Like you knew Ten Hag wants to get it done at Manchester United, wants to prove everybody wrong. Probably won't. Sorry.
I think he will, but whatever.
That club is a disaster from other levels, I think.
Nope. Not anymore. Anyway, go ahead.
And
I love the
we
optimism.
could have gone in there and poached him.
No, I'm not saying you should poach him. What I would have said is if they had fired him. You're not going to poach. Ten Hag was not going to leave to come here. I get that. But what I'm saying is, so right now,
could at least try though.
But right now, there are European coaches who are going to go through the season. There's going to be some coach, whether it's Ten Hag or someone else, who's got really good credentials, big team, is going to get fired at the end of the season, right? And going to be available. But we can't wait that long because when we wait that long, you wait into the spring. Our season's already started. That window for hiring the European coach happened. We missed it. We missed it. That was the window. All the coaches who were available, and there were a bunch of good ones, right? They were available, including Pochettino, who the U.S. scooped up, right? that window is gone. So now what? Now you're left with like assistant coaches, like mediocre. Nobody wants a coach. Like if Vieira was that good, why is nobody calling him?
Yeah.
Nobody wants him. He's not in demand. We're not going to have to fight over him for somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Pochettino was in demand. Lots of people wanted him.
Yeah. Is in the ESPN top rated coaches available right now. He was number 10 in ESPN's list.
No.
Vieira was?
Yeah. Pochettino.
Oh, Pochettino.
And the U.S. men's national team snagged him up.
Yeah. Who is above that? Because those should be the guys.
Remember? Look it up. ESPN top 50 soccer coaches. It's pretty recent. It was
top 50?
Yeah, top 50, I think. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, managers probably is how they would say it. And
sorry,
managers.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What we got? 2024.
Yeah. So, generative AI. So it's probably top right link. Yep. Boom.
All right. What we?
That's 50. So go to.
Oh. Keep reading. 20. Oh, they don't.
Oh, it's blocked because it's ESPN.
I've got a subscription. Click on
continue reading. Oh,
look at you.
Yeah, log in. See if my login.
Goodness.
Oh man.
No, we're never getting there.
Yeah, look at that.
Right.
Click that.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah, click that. Boom. Continue. Forget it. That's my password actually. So if you copy that and put in mikedobbs@gmail.com.
What?
Yeah,
Copy
the
what?
email.
Now everybody's saying we're showing this on. Are we showing?
No, we're not.
Right,
We're
okay,
not.
Anybody want?
I'll have to change my
What's
password.
the password to your bank account? Mikey down. Anybody want to withdraw? Now you can do the Let's see if it works.
Who knows?
Darn it! I messed it up. Probably. That's all right. Okay.
I know what the password is, but I can't say it.
Oh yeah, don't say it. You can't say it.
Don't say it.
Go ahead. Talk amongst yourselves.
That's all I got. I got nothing left. This team is very hard to root for right now.
Yeah. So right now we got Messi coming to town
Mhm.
on Wednesday, and that God bless, we don't even have the full stadium open.
Yeah, says a lot.
Yes. We don't have the full stadium open.
No, they can't even sell out the full dang thing for Messi. Because right now nobody cares about Atlanta.
How wiggly is Garth Lagerwey in his chair right now?
If I were
why is he
Uncle
not
Arthur, I'd be like, "There's a fire." Like we have lost the whole spirit of our club.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I would be a little bit impatient, like a little bit like.
Yeah, I mean Lagerwey wasted a year for sure. He gave way too much rope to Pineda from his previous relationship, which we said from day one was a worry.
Yep.
And he did it.
Yep.
And here we find ourselves with no urgency, knowing we can't get it wrong. Of course, Garth, we can't get it wrong, but you're going to get it wrong anyway.
Okay.
Did you find the coaching article?
Yeah. Who are you looking for?
But those are not. Some of them are available.
Yeah, no, but this is still just.
Okay.
So scroll up. I think Pochettino was 9 or 10.
He was 9.
Yeah.
But he was like, wait.
You got it. Go.
Okay. What I was going to say is that you have to look for the unattached. Is there anybody higher than him as unattached? Right? Atalanta, Inzaghi, they're all coaching. Enrique Paris, Saint Germain. So these guys all have, Klopp, but he's not coming here. Yeah. Okay. So we got to go below.
U.S. men's national team.
They got the highest
They got the best
available guy.
Yeah.
Period on this list.
Anyone you want to look for and search for?
No. Yeah, and some
Tuchel.
Tuchel's 12.
Tuchel's
right?
available.
We've talked about Tuchel, and I think that there's a possibility, even as crazy as it would be, to get him to at least think about it.
Let's keep going and see what people who are unattached. Stefano Pioli. I don't know who that is. Where did he coach? Xavi Hernandez. He's probably not coming here, but
probably not coming.
Worth a. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these people probably wouldn't come,
Where's VR? Oh, there's your guy.
Allegri. There he is.
28.
28.
Yeah. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
would be a huge snafu if we pull
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
whoever. But
Why
he-
not?
You know, he looks
56 years old.
distinguished. Maybe
He's
once.
not
Yeah.
super old. That's a great movie. So you got Tuchel and Allegri as the European coaches who look like they're still available, right?
Yeah, Ten Hag at what,
Oh,
34?
sorry, Mauricio Sarri. He's a good coach,
Yeah.
and he's South American, so he would have the connection.
Yeah.
Graham Potter.
Yeah. Who was Graham Potter was the end all be all, what, a year and a half
Yeah.
ago, right?
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Right. I mean he flopped at Chelsea, but Chelsea
who
was a
didn't?
disaster.
Chelsea is
Moyes
David
is-
Moyes.
No,
Yeah.
but I think he's done. I think he's really retired.
I know, but we could bring him over to Atlanta United. That's like retirement for someone like David Moyes. Didn't David Moyes start Wayne Rooney for his first game when he was 16 or 17
Yes.
at Everton? I remember watching that in the chair when he came on, bombed that curler into the top post. Oh, so good. Went off the
Tuchel and Allegri.
Tuchel.
If you're gonna go right now, Tuchel and Allegri.
Yeah. And Graham Potter and
Graham Potter would be fine.
We'll take him.
and David Moyes. All of them. Like again, pick up the phone. You never know. Like David Moyes might just want a little holiday in the U.S. That'd be all he needs.
Just give it a go.
Yeah.
I mean, make a crap ton of money.
But you notice Vieira's not on there.
Well, that was European. Does he
Yeah,
count?
but also like right
yeah,
now,
he was
European?
coaching in Europe. All these
There's-
are people fired from Europe.
I mean, there's also attractiveness to be like, hey, you're going against Tata and Messi in Miami. There's a rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, you need somebody to build this up as like a reason to come to MLS to see less than stellar soccer most nights.
I mean,
It's
you're not
just-
lying.
Yeah.
You are not lying.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Anything? Y'all got anything else?
no, we're just gonna sit back and wait.
We've got that dessert wine that Dave.
Yeah, it's coming.
brought. I think we should get into that.
Oh, did y'all talk about this wine while I was playing with the buttons?
No, we didn't thank our
And
sponsors.
sponsors and all
Yeah,
that good
we've
stuff?
done that enough on the podcast. We're good. We'll do it next time.
All
Thanks,
right.
Wolf Mountain Vineyard, Wild Heaven. Thank you.
Y'all are awesome. We
Well,
love you.
Still not open at Toco Hills.
It's
come on,
coming.
people.
It's coming.
It's all about licensing and government paperwork.
I know, but
But
I'm getting impatient.
people want more government.
Give me the barbecue. Give me
Yeah.
the beer. Let's go. On that note,
On that
I don't
note,
even think we're gonna dance ourselves off.
Oh,
here.
should we? I
Let's-
mean,
no,
you don't have to
let's-
dance. No
let's
music,
just-
even. You don't have to dance.
Let's just fade into the.
Fade
just-
into the abyss.
yeah, no, we're good.
Okay.
If you want to play the Gonzalo Pineda song, that might be a good.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
is it still here?
Yeah.
It should be.
There it is.
Can't you see?
Rob Valentino.
Yeah. Let's
So-
fire our
just-
interim.
Sub in.
That would make a
Okay.
statement. You want to make a statement, Lagerway? Fire the interim.
Yeah.
Even without having another
Yeah.
guy.
Just
Have
be
an
like,
interim for the interim?
yeah, just
Fire the interim. Be like, we're
we're
Fed
not
up,
putting
we're
up
not
with
putting up with it.
mediocrity. We're done with.
Player coach
yeah,
Guzan.
player coach.
Totally
Exactly.
fine with that.
He'd be probably terrific.
This is a good exit right now. We're coming up with some good ideas. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Sorry, gotta have to expect.
All right.
Gonzalo, your time has come. The final whistle's about to be rung.
All right, can we end there?
Fans
No,
are
no, okay, sorry.
We're bringing it home.
Fire's gone.
Atlanta United,
We're
singing a new song. See y'all next time.
God damn, I'm about to cry.
We're singing a new song.
Bye, everybody.